Today we are going to be creating an underwater jellyfish. Our artist for this project is Olga Nikitina. She is a Ukrainian-born artist. She grew up and studied in Russia, and she's one of the new pioneers growing in the field of underwater painting. She did get her degree in interior designing from the University of Yugoslavia. She is passionate about painting underwater sea life. The main focus of her painting is marine life.
Okay, so today we are going to create a jellyfish. Now, you probably want to use a pencil. I'm going to be using a black crayon because it'll show it better. Plus, whenever we're finished and you've used your pencil, you have to go over your pencil lines with a black crayon because that will create a resist when we start to use our fluorescent paints. Our first thing we're going to do, I'm going to start with the main part of the jellyfish. And to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to make a letter U shape. A big letter U shape. Once you've got your big letter U shape, we're going to start and create the letter J. See how it makes the letter J. So I have a U and a J. My next step, I want to make this part into an oval. So I'm going to connect it. So I'm going to take where the point is, like a triangle. I'm going to bring it down to that curve line. Now I have an oval. Okay? So we got a U, a J, and then a curve line to create our jellyfish. Our next step is we're going to curve this right here. That forms kind of that J shape again. The letter J right there. Then I'm going to see where my point is. And I want to bring my line up to that point. I'm going to do the same thing, making it symmetrically balanced on the other side, creating a curved line. It's making kind of like a backwards J. And then I'm going to take the point and curve it down. Now I want to finish up the body of the jellyfish. To do that, all I need to do is create 1, 2 letter U's. 1, 2 letter U's. So now I have my top half of my jellyfish. Now when we look at the pictures of jellyfishes, okay, now you'll notice that there is lots of different little designs and shapes that are on the body. Some are kind of flowers, some are little dots and circles. So it has some repetition to it. So we're going to create some repetition. I'm going to be creating it with some circles. Now, you could choose a different shape. This doesn't have to be perfectly realistic. I'm going to be choosing some circles. So I'm starting with a circle and I'm adding some repetition. So I'm adding some other circles. So make a circle. It's up to you if you kind of vary the sizes of your shapes. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm creating where I'm having some repetition. This will give us some movement in our artwork. This repetition moves your eye through your artwork. I'm just repeating circles. So now I have my top half of my jellyfish where it has its repetition. Now we gotta look at the part that makes the jellyfish move around in the ocean. So we're gonna start to create a little wavy triangle. So I'm adding 2 diagonal lines, but they're not straight, they're wavy. So I have this little wavy part. I'm gonna add some more waves into it, okay? Now it doesn't have just that, and it's also going to have more lines coming down. So what this does is it allows the jellyfish, when it's swimming around, this is where its stinger is, and it can sting other animals so the jellyfish can eat it. Like it will eat a fish. If you want to draw some fish, you can. So think about some fish you might have for your jellyfish. Maybe it's already got one of its tentacles on it and you want to start to create a little fish that's caught in the tentacles of the jellyfish, where it's going to have its jellyfish lunch. So it's going to have some fish for lunch. And you could add some little scales. You can get it stuck on its little jellyfish tentacles. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just your guess. Jellyfish will swim in what we call a school of fish. When you have multiple jellyfish, you can see it as a school of fish. Like a wolf would have a pack, jellyfish swim in a school of fish. So you could have some repetition there. Our word for this month is going to be repetition and movement. So we're bringing our eye through the picture. So I'm making a school of jellyfish moving around in the ocean. Now, jellyfish eat fish, but the animal that eats jellyfish are turtles. You could have a turtle swimming in your ocean, because a jellyfish would be a turtle's lunch. Turtles have the ability to not be stung by jellyfish. And now I have a little sea turtle swimming towards my jellyfish. Now I'm looking at my ocean. I could think about different things. I might want to add some little bubbles. I could add some more jellyfish. I'm being creative with my picture. Think about, what do you want to add? Do you want to add some more fish by your school of jellyfish? Do you want to add some turtles? Do you want to pick something else? Do you want it to have it where it's near the bottom of the ocean? Or maybe we can see some seaweed or some coral. What might you have? Or maybe even a little shell, like a clam in our ocean. And if you want to do a dolphin or a shark, you could add that in there, but they most likely would not swim near the jellyfish. They wouldn't want the stings. More likely you'll see more turtles because they would think that was a delicious snack. Or, you know, because the jellyfish would be going around where the corals, they might see more little fishes swimming, trying to avoid the jellyfish so they don't become the jellyfish's lunch. Let's think about what do you want to have in there. Are you going to have some little water waves? So you have some movements. Maybe some little bubbles. Once you have your jellyfish penciled out, you're going to then use your black crayon, because we want that Rex Resist to go over your jellyfish. Alright, so today we're going to start to paint in our jellyfish. You should have penciled it out and then gone over it with your crayon, thinking about your picture. We're going to get to use our fluorescent paints. Now, with our fluorescent paints, you might also use some of our just normal temper paints because they do have a tendency to not have a lot of colors. We got mostly just our yellow, pink, blue, green, and I do have an orange. When you look at them, they should have water already in it. If they don't, you may have to mix it up. I'm going to make my jellyfish with watercolor, so I'm going to go with more yellows and pinks. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go over it with my yellow. And if you need to add more of the water to it, you can. Now do look at your brush, make sure you got one that has bristles. Do remember we're using the tippy toes. This is the tippy toes of the brush. We're not smashing it down. We're not laying it flat. It shouldn't hit the metal connector. We're just going on the tippy toes of the brush. And you can use that water to move that tempera paint around. Now I'm getting kind of my base coat with yellow first, and I'm going to go in with other colors. So first I'm gonna get all my jellyfish. Now I'm using the same colors. If you want to use different colors on your jellyfishes, that is up to you. So I have my yellow, that's my first color. And when you finish with them, do put the little lid back on them. And then I'm gonna start to use my pink. Cleaning my brush before I go into my next color. I'm gonna start to put my pink. So now I have my pink there. I'm gonna make my tentacles also pink. Okay, going into my other ones. So once I have my jellyfish, I'm gonna start to look at my other things in my picture. So I'm gonna go in with my green. Mixing up my tempera a bit. I start to make my fish. And my turtle. Now that's just my first base color. I'm gonna go in and I'll add some other colors to that. Going in right here. I can add some coral. There's some more coral going around here. Mix it with a little bit like pink. It makes it orangey. Now you also will have just our normal temperas at your table. So you can think about sand. And this will be a less fluorescent color. Think about what color I want my shell right here to be. I might give it some red. Maybe a little bit of blue. So it's kind of a purpley shell. So once I have all my animals painted, oh, I forgot to add some little details on my turtles and stuff. Go in, giving it some value. When that dries, I might add a little bit more color to it. Then I can go in and start to add my water. Water is blue. So we will be using a lot of blue. Notice I'm not painting over my things that I added. I'm just, if I want to go around the bubbles, I can leave the bubbles white and just go around those. Just adding blue ocean. Don't forget, add water, it'll move your paint around. And I'm starting to get some little pieces of blue around my tentacles. Okay, so since we use temper doesn't do the little sprinkles with salt, especially when it's like this kind of thick gel one. You're going, if you want to have bubbles, to use our temper paint. Because you can't do it with the salt. And I just get some white. In any area where you accidentally covered over some of your bubbles, you can go in with a white. Okay? Because we can't really do that with the salt. We can add some other little bubbles going in there, like little movement bubbles when the fish is moving, so you have some movement. Once I've done that, I can go in if I want some extra details. I can take and get some black. Now you want to have it just on the tip and go in on the eyes. Add some shadows. Maybe some shadows down here where the coral is. Get some texture. And you can even kind of look and see if I need any little texture areas on my fish. I'm not going to do it on the jellyfish. I think that they're fine texture-wise. Now, our very last step is going to be our glitter glue. We do have some black glue that's just matte. When we use our glitter glue, first thing you do, you open up the top. Make sure it points down. You gotta suck air into it. If you don't suck the air into it, and you don't hear the air coming into it, then it's not gonna come out. So I'm sucking the air in, and then you might do it away from your artwork until you get the first part coming out so you don't get it to where it drops on there. Let's see if there's more in the purple. start to take. And let those little glue lines go around. You really only want to do it on your big one. We're not going to, because there's just not enough glitter glue to go around for us to do it on every single jellyfish in our jellyfish school. We're giving this one emphasis with texture. And our texture is going to be glitter. And I can add a couple of little jellyfish tentacles. Maybe one kind of going around my fish. Notice I'm just using a line. Okay, and that's my picture done. Less is more with the glitter glue. We don't have to put it all in the circles in every which way. A little goes a long way. And remember, you know, everybody's supposed to use it, so you do want to respect that we only have so much glitter glue. Okay,